We just got over 104 formerly classified pages of evidence showing that Barack Obama spied on Donald Trump and his campaign before he took office. And before I break down what Tulsi Gabbard found in her investigation on Obama, I want to show this video to you of Tulsi Gabbard. She's on Fox News. She is basically saying that she fully intends to prosecute Obama for what we are about to talk about. Take a look.
So the effect of what President Obama and his senior national security team did was subvert the will of the American people, undermining our democratic republic and enacting what would be essentially a years-long coup against President Trump, who was duly elected by the American people.
Yeah, and I want to get to that right now because I've heard talk of a criminal referral. Are you referring this in a criminal matter?
We are referring all of the documents that we have uncovered to the Department of Justice and the FBI for a criminal referral.
Yeah. And do you believe that we will see prosecutions? I mean, our audience wants to know where this story goes from here. Will we ever see anyone held accountable for this incredible lie on the American people?
I will do all that I can, and we have whistleblowers, actually, Maria, coming forward now after we release these documents, because there are people who were around, who were working within the intelligence community at this time, who were so disgusted by what happened. We're starting to see some of them come out of the woodwork here because they, too, like you and I and the American people, want to see justice delivered. So we're going to provide everything that we have, everything that we will continue to gather to the Department of Justice for that direct intent and that direct purpose. There must be indictments, those responsible, no matter how powerful they are and were at that time, no matter who was involved in creating this treasonous conspiracy against the American people, they all must be held accountable.
So according to Tulsi Gabbard, the FBI and the DOJ are going to indict Obama. Now, here's what he actually did. And in order to tell you this story, I got to go all the way back to November of 2016. Trump had just prevailed over Hillary Clinton. We were all very happy about this. The United States was rejoicing, and the United States enemies were crying. Now, Obama gets some intel from his staff that Russia may have been interfering with the election. Now, this is very common. This isn't anything new. We know that they do this from time to time. They're not the only country. There's a lot of countries that obviously have a stake in the American election, so they try to interfere. And what we have evidence for, and again, they've been doing this for many, many elections, is that Russia will send in bots, for example, to sow misinformation online. They'll do it to turn up the political heat, to kind of sow political unrest. They fund propaganda on places like Facebook or any social media site. All that's true. We've known that before Obama, and him investigating that is totally fine, honestly. It happens all the time. They've done that forever. But what Obama wanted to know was not that. What Obama wanted to know was whether or not, again, this is according to him, whether or not they had hacked into actual voting machines and changed the voting numbers. That's what he was investigating. And here's the deal. Even on that point, I think that's a fair thing to investigate. Obviously, election integrity is incredibly important. I would want to know if a foreign government was tapping into our voting machines. So investigating, that's fine. I got no problem with that. The problem is this. What we see now from the unclassified pages that just came out from Tulsi Gabbard, they were classified, now they're unclassified. You can find them online. I've read through them. It's 104 pages, so you can't read all of them, and some of it's redacted, but for the most part, you can read all of it. And what she put out is that Obama repeatedly, over and over again, was given reports from his officials and his staff saying that Russia had not been able to hack into the machines. They looked into it, and several people, like the vast majority, said they're not capable of doing it, at least not right now. That's what they said. And we have a lot of evidence that Obama knew that fully, and he understood what was happening there. So that should have been the end of it. He did the investigation. He found there was no election interference. Cool. However, instead of putting an end to it, as we all know, Obama decided to start a special investigation into Trump of him colluding with Russians. And that's where the whole Russiagate thing came out. And people are saying that Trump was elected because of Putin. Obviously, that wasn't true. And that report is known as the Steele dossier. Everyone's heard of it. Obama did this. This is the big bombshell. Obama did this with the full knowledge already that Trump had not colluded with Russians, as per his own reports that he was getting from his own staff. And anyway, even through all of that, he allowed James Comey, who was the FBI director, to spy on Trump. And that's what's truly astounding. And again, Trump was not president yet. This was in the intermediate time between Trump winning the presidency and actually taking office on January 20th. We just know now that he used the FBI, Obama, to spy on Trump for something that we know that Obama knows wasn't legit. The whole thing was just a sham in order to make Trump look bad. And then on, I think it was January 10th, they published it. They leaked it to the media. They said there was a leak, but they intentionally gave it to the media, the Steele dossier, in order to, and again, the Steele dossier didn't have anything but speculations in it, but they give it to the media in hopes that that would ruin Trump's credibility. And of course, the whole time throughout it, we know that the Steele dossier is going on, and we know that, people are theorizing that Putin helped Trump win, even though none of that was true. And again, the whole intent was just simply to undermine Trump's presidency before he even got in, for him to get there and to have no one to work with and have no support from the American people. So I think Tulsi Gabbard absolutely should prosecute Obama, and I think she should prosecute his senior staff. However, I do have one contingency with that, and this is something that I think Tulsi Gabbard is really making a mistake on. And since she's part of Trump's campaign, I think Trump is making a mistake on this, part of his staff. I think Trump's making a problem with this. And it's that they need to be very careful when they are promising these things to the American people. The Trump admin in his first and second term is kind of famous for over-promising in terms of investigations and prosecuting corrupt people and then not delivering later on. That's true of Hillary Clinton. Lock her up. That was a huge part of his campaign in his first term. It's been true of the deep state as well. He's talked about that. And then, of course, the Epstein files, which are going on right now. They've overpromised hugely. And I've talked about this in past episodes. They need to curb people's expectations on this big time. Because, again, you got to tell them what you want to do, but don't promise people that Obama's going to jail. And that's kind of what they've been saying. Tulsi Gabbard is kind of going out there saying, we're indicting him, he's going under. The reality is, if we're all being really honest with ourselves, and it sucks, but Obama is probably not going to prison. He could. Again, if he goes, it's a happy surprise. It's a massive win for the Trump administration, no doubt. However, if he doesn't go, it is another brutal, corrupt failure that turns into a conspiracy and people undermine Trump's presidency. And that just cannot happen again. If you're trying to scale your business right now, listen up. Sales and marketing specialists are both essential for growing your business, but it can be incredibly expensive to get them, and the quality of talent sometimes is lacking a bit. And that is why I partnered with Leverage Assistant. Leverage Assistant connects American businesses like yours with marketing specialists, sales assistants, accountants, you name it, working in the exact same time zones as your business for a fraction of the cost. The average company right now with Leverage Assistant is saving over $20,000 a year in labor costs. They're not a recruiter. They're not a marketplace. Leverage Assistant is a high-touch resourcing solution where they vet every assistant through 12 hours of interviews, skill tests, reference checks, and behavioral assessments to ensure that they're the right operational fit for your business. And right now, everybody, they are giving 1 month free to my viewers so that you can experience for yourself the high quality talent and how they can grow your business. So to get that 1 month free and to see what they are all about, head to the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this show, everybody. Please like the video so other great patriots like yourselves will see it. And you can tune in every single weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern time for the live show, or you can watch another video right here.